Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 119.9 kilograms. He trains out of Alpha MMA. He holds a record of 2 wins and 0 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Ken, the Valley Ken Viliamu. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man weighed in at 120 kilograms flat. This is his professional debut, training out of CMBT Training Center. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Osh Jackson! And when our action begins, our referee in charge, Thomas Churchill.
Thomas Churchill has his hands full with these 2 heavyweights. Oh my goodness, these guys are absolutely massive. Ken Viliamu in the blue, Osh Jackson in the red. Eternal heavyweight bout scheduled for a possible 3 5-minute rounds. Many of us doubt it'll make it out of the first. Once again, this bout's brought to you by proper number 12 Irish Whiskey.
And Osh stepping straight up to the plate, looking for that big kaboosh. He was zoned in right from the start, looking to go upstairs with a big knee.
And using the jab really well, trying to find his range, pushing Ken back against the cage, and he's going to look to land some bombs if Ken settles there and gets still at any point.
Yeah, Ken in his past fights, he's looked to implement the wrestling pretty early. He's kicking well off the back foot at the moment. Really fast for big man. Well put.
Oh! Huge right hand from Jackson, straight down the middle. And another for good measure, Viliamu. We know he's got a steel chin net, but he can't sit there.
No, that was a good connection. There was a big right hand over the top from Osh Jackson. He had Ken Viliamu on his bike. He was backpedaling all the way to the far side of the cage. And done well now to involve himself in a grapple. He's in a good position just to clear his headband, just get his wits back around him. That was a big shot there from Osh.
Yeah, and really smart from Ken. He's got 5 minutes. He needs to clear his head. You know, it's very early in the round, and he's taking damage. Osh has got bad intentions with every strike at the moment.
Oh, big right hand from Viliamu. There's a reason he's 2-0. He's had to weather a couple of storms early on in his career, none more so than the one he's trying to survive right now. The onslaught from Osh continues.
Osh looked like he's coming a lot heavier than we saw him in his first fight on Eternal. Looks like he's carrying a lot more weight.
He's still very nimble, very light on his feet, and very quick.
He is. That's what I was going to say. And yeah, very fast. The lead hand doing a good job of setting up the right hand at the moment. There's some good elbows chopping away as Osh Jackson trying to decapitate Viliamu.
John Wayne Parr Muay Thai paying off.
Yes, that's your world. Matt Williams, bit of Muay Thai for you on the inside.
Showing a great array of skills for the bigger fellas. Sometimes, you know, you get a little bit of a skill subsidy when you go up into the heavyweights because of the power they carry.
Yes.
But both these boys are very skillful, but Osh looks really slick on his feet.
Yeah, really slick. I like when Viliamu's going southpaw and he's sending the left shin up to the right hand of Osh Jackson. And the more times you do that, the more times you kick that wrist, you start to take the power out of the right hand. That might be a good strategy over the 3 rounds from Viliamu.
Well, he's on the back foot. Here's Viliamu. Jackson continuing to pressure, and Ben Vickers, on behalf of the entire MMA community throughout Australia, thank you for putting on such a well-balanced heavyweight fight. Both these guys are not slowing down at all as we approach 2 minutes left in round 1.
Well, we saw all the heavyweights tangle up in the tournament over in New Zealand, didn't we, when Ricky Beecham became the king of the heavyweights? So that was a long time ago on the eve of Felder and Hooker, I believe, in Auckland.
Yeah, Eternal 50 was our 50th event, and we thought we'll have a banger of a heavyweight tournament, and every fight went the distance. But, you know, you can only try your best. And heavyweight fights that go the distance generally aren't the most entertaining affairs in the world because they do tend to run out of gas, as you would expect. But these boys have slowed down a little bit. There's still big leather coming. What's impressed me about Osh, as well as his speed, just as I'm about to say, is his defensive responsibility. His hands are tight. He knows the result of getting cracked by another fellow giant. So the hands are glued closely to the chin, which I like to see.
Just over a minute remaining in round number 1, and Ken Viliamu starting to mix things up now. He knows he can't sit on the cage. Otherwise, he hits a big right hand, and again, a knee to the body for Jackson.
Yeah, I spoke to his own. It turns out I'm really close with Osh Jackson's uncle over in New Zealand, Louis T. Big shout out to him. He said, watch out for this lad. He's changed his intentions, and this means a lot to him, this fight, as Viliamu digs hard to the body, trying to find the liver of Jackson.
Like I said to you, in Australia at the moment, it's a bit of a dead division. There's not a lot of heavyweights around, so if Osh can put a run together, we can get him some opponents, and there's no reason why he can't go to the next level.
I like that front kick there from Jackson, just testing out the midriff of Viliamu, stabbing away with his toes. 20 seconds left to go. What's been a really action-packed opening stanza for these big boys. Oh, did he just try to go for a Niminari roll? I believe Ken Viliamu has it all. He's been spinning around like a 120 kg human Beyblade. Goes for a Niminari roll, and I'm not talking about the sushi either.
Well, that'll do it for round number 1. Back and forth they go, 5 minutes. Your name come up on the screen at some point throughout this evening. Round 2.
Yeah, keep it coming. We've been enjoying seeing the interaction on threads, that's for sure. Viliamu digs to the liver like Jose Aldo and comes over the top with the right hand. Good left shin connection too there from Big Ken.
Well, Osh's main sparring partner and training partner for this camp was none other than Justin Taffa. I doubt that he's been hit harder than what he was describing to me in camp as he lands a left hook on the break. Osh Jackson.
Sorry, Big T, I don't want any trouble, mate. Not when you're sitting that close to me. But Viliamu's really been attacking that liver in the second round. He's been kicking to it with the left leg, and he's been punching to it with the left hand. So they might feel that their best chance lies later on in this fight as he lands a nice check left hook over the top. Some big deep press now from Viliamu, who comes forward on the blitz. Not a lot doing there. Osh Jackson, potentially the fresher fighter.
I'd like to see Ken use this cage position a little bit more. He's been getting pushed back against the cage a lot, and you're in a lot of danger there, especially as a big fella. So the center cage position might suit him a little bit better. Great elbows on the inside again.
Yes, Ben. Oh! Spinning back elbow lands flush for Viliamu, and Jackson will clinch up here to slow things down just a bit.
Oh, mate. If you thought you were at Rajanamurn Stadium in Bangkok watching the Muay Thai, you could be forgiven. There was some beautiful clinch work there from Osh Jackson on the inside. Great short elbows, big knees. And Ken Viliamu returns serve with the spinning back fist. Got a huge, huge knock on the side of Osh Jackson's head. And he was wobbly there for a minute, Ben.
Yeah, and again, did the right thing. Sometimes when people get rocked, they tend to go away from the situation, but sometimes it's better to close the distance and eliminate the danger, which is what Osh has done. And he's allowed himself a little bit of time to get back in the fight and clear his head.
Just under 3 minutes remaining now, and these guys decide to slow things down just a bit, but that spinning back elbow seemed to turn the momentum in favor of Viliamu in the second.
Yeah, well-deserved break for these two halfway through the second round. They're staying busy with some big knees. Both fighters taking some huge damage in the second. Osh Jackson tries to go upstairs again with a knee. Ken Viliamu hasn't tried to take this fight to the ground. He hasn't been 100% committed to it yet. So,
well, he was pretty committed to that Imanari roll, mate.
Certainly was, mate. Eternal MMA heralding the return of heavyweights in this country at the elite level, and both boys showing just what they're made of. Viliamu shifts forward with the straight left hand, digs to the body again, comes upstairs.
Deep breaths for Ken Viliamu and Osh Jackson as we count down the final 90 seconds or just over here in round 2.
That was a fabulous combination.
Indeed.
I mean, he may be tired, but he's obviously conserving his energy and throwing and using his energy in bursts, which I think is really clever. And he had great success landing pretty much every shot of that combination, 3 punches.
Yeah, he's been investing to the body a lot in the second round, is Viliamu. Looking to make a withdrawal with interest upstairs. The boys separate for a second here. A minute 20 to play. It's been another close round. Jackson, he's been on wobbly legs at times, but he's fought his way back into this one. And he's got the superior of the ring position. Upstairs goes Viliamu. Left shin connects to the skull of Osh Jackson.
And Ken Viliamu seems to be taking the lead in round 2 after what was an onslaught from Jackson in the opening stages.
And showing phenomenal dexterity for a big fella, getting the leg up there that quick.
Like I said, it's Kung Fu Panda for adults. These guys got all the tricks in the book. Elbow straight up the middle there from Osh Jackson. The way you set that up is by getting either wrist control or bicep control as he goes back for seconds. They're beautifully off the left. 30 seconds left to play in the second. It's Viliamu with Osh Jackson pressed up against the fence. Really impressed with the new wrinkles to the game of Osh Jackson. With the cross training, big left hand connects.
Well, he's going to open up here, does Ken Viliamu, but Jackson getting himself off the cage. And he is wearing the signs of war on his face as Jackson. The spinning back fist misses, the follow-up lands flush. And Viliamu closes out round 2. See the stars of tomorrow before they reach the UFC at UFCFightPass.com. Third and final round.
This one hanging in the air. A very close fight right down to the third and final round. Here comes Viliamu pressing Osh Jackson up against the fence. He needs to watch out for that short work on the inside from Jackson, who's shown some good elbows in tight. Reverses the position. Someone connected, but Ken Viliamu's 3.5 meter wide back just obscures our vision. Look at them going toe to toe, leaving it all in there, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if I was Osh, every time Ken takes a deep breath, I'd put my hands up because you know something's coming. There's a bit of a tell going on at the moment.
Well, that's a good point. And at this stage of the fight, you'd have to think that Jackson needs to pay attention to everything coming his way because Viliamu not letting up the pressure here.
Yeah, Viliamu looking for a takedown now. He's in on the single leg there. Used a lot of energy trying to finish it. Now trying to catch a little breather. He's still got the overhook. Will he go back for seconds? Hands low now, right in the pocket. Viliamu versus Osh Jackson. Not a lot of footwork now. It's all about the hands. Some deep breaths on behalf of Viliamu. Digs to the body, right hand over the top.
I just think Ken Viliamu is just a bit more prepared to go. Like he's realised he can take what Osh has got to give him, and he's just doing that little bit more, whereas Osh has just frozen a little bit and isn't outputting that much more since he's taken the damage.
Well, Ken Viliamu, he had quite a few amateur fights as well, and 2 fights thus far, this being his 3rd, so a lot more experience in the cage than Osh Jackson. Uppercut's a good one from Viliamu, but returning serve is Osh Jackson with a nice little 3-piece combination on the inside.
Jackson starting to read that overhand right as he glides out of the way and onto the fence. Takedown attempt unsuccessful for Viliamu, 50-50 for both men now.
Yeah, the hips flat against the fence there from Osh Jackson. I'd like to see him just get side on a little bit more, get an underhook going, try and adjust that head position so he can get off and let those hands go. Halfway through now the 3rd round. There comes the underhook. Looks to turn him off. Good knee up the inside. Deep breath from Osh Jackson as he circles off with the left hook to regain a much better position in the cage.
There's the big breath and there's the strike straight afterwards.
All right, on cue up top for Viliamu now. Dirty boxing on the outside and the inside for Jackson as the crowd starts to get behind their man here on the GC.
Yeah, they're all tangled up and locked and loaded in the middle there, weren't they? A bit of dirty boxing from Osh Jackson.
For a heavyweight fight, sorry Matt, for a heavyweight fight, this has been fought at a spectacular pace. I mean, there's no shortage of action. We haven't had any of the lulls that you normally expect as heavyweight fights go deeper. These boys are pushing.
Yeah, you can tell they're throwing everything into this prep. A long time on the sidelines it was from Ken Viliamu. A ton of cancelled fights over the last 2 years.
Just over 90 seconds left in the 3rd and final round. And although the footwork may have slowed down, the pace hasn't. The hands continue to fly between Jackson and Viliamu, and the judges have a tough ask on their hands. Uppercut just missing for Viliamu. He'll push Osh up against the cage and try and grind out this last minute, Matt.
That last lead kick that Viliamu landed had a real effect on the lead leg of Osh Jackson. If they get separated, I'd like to see him go back to seconds, because he became very heavy on it if he wasn't already. Again, here comes Ken with the dirty boxing. And a minute left to go. This is a super close fight, Ben.
Yeah, I think it's been sort of a tale of two halves, and with Osh sort of leading the way early and then Ken weathering a little bit of an early storm and coming back strong in the second half of the fight and really pushing the pace for me and landing the better work as the fight's progressed.
30 seconds left on the clock, and who would have thought we'd go the distance? We may not. That is it! Ken Viliamu by knockout!
Wow, that was incredible. Straight right hand, very technical, straight down the pipe, fast punch.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Thomas Churchill has called a stop to the action at just 4 minutes and 33 seconds of the very last round, declaring your winner via TKO in the blue corner, Ken Viliamu.